Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 3 emulation on Android with RPCS3 Android. And RPCS3 Android just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, Alpha 6 is the latest release of RPCS3 Android, and this one has a whole bunch of bug fixes, optimizations, improvements, and brand new features. So they say here they've improved the settings UI, and they've also implemented initial folder import support. Someone has Demon's Souls up and running with a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's not necessarily the smoothest, but it is up and running. The same person with the same Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra has Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition up and running. Again, not the smoothest, but it is up and running. And someone else has the Bourne Conspiracy up and running on a Poco F5. This one seems to be running a lot better, but there are some graphical issues. Next up here, we're talking about the highly anticipated game inZOI. This game is headed to early access relatively soon, just in a few days on March 27th. You can already download the inZOI Creative Studio. And this game is generating a bit of controversy for one thing here that's not listed on the Steam store page. So someone with a very keen eye noticed that this game uses Denuvo anti-tamper and doesn't disclose it, and they figured that out by looking at the IP the game is trying to connect to. It is worth pointing out that this is Denuvo anti-tamper and not Denuvo anti-cheat, so I don't think this is at a kernel level, and it wouldn't make sense to have an anti-cheat on a single-player game unless I'm missing something. I guess from an anti-tamper perspective, they're discouraging modding. The inZOI development team also has a post on their community page talking about piracy and illegal copies of their game. It appears that this game may have already leaked. So they say here, we will be taking strict legal action against the following violations: using and/or distributing illegal copies of inZOI, operating or using illegal download sites. To me, those two kind of make sense. They seem par for the course for a lot of game developers out there. But this third one here may rub people the wrong way. Manipulating or making unauthorized modifications to game data. My guess here, and I could be wrong, it seems the developers are intending people to enjoy this game in its vanilla form only. And they may be scared of listing Denuvo on the Steam store page because it may affect sales. I don't know. I could be wrong about all of that. This is not a game I would ever think of playing, but at the same time, if you are, let me know your thoughts about all of this stuff in the comments below. But moving on, and next up, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Ryubing's fork Ryubing. And it appears that Ryubing has a couple of GitHub pages, one here for Canary and one here for Stable. At the time of filming, the latest Stable build is version 1.2.86, and I think we talked about this one before. It has been out for a while. But on the other hand here, Canary, which is more of an experimental build, just got a brand new update here. At the time of filming, Canary version 1.3.22 is the latest update. So this latest version of Canary is introducing a brand new feature, and that is Turbo Mode. I think some people may be very interested to learn more about it. If you are curious and wanted to learn more about anything I talk about in this video, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. Next up, if you use a DualSense, or if you want to use a DualSense controller on PC and you're on Windows, you may want to pay attention to this GitHub here. It's called DualSense Companion, and it's meant to turn the DualSense controller into an Xbox 360 controller on your PC. Now, I would say that this one is pretty early on in terms of overall development, and in the future they do plan on adding stuff like light bar customization. At the time of filming, the latest update here is version 1.0.2. Next up, we're talking about Sega Dreamcast emulation with Flycast, and if you use Flycast and you are looking for some helpful information all in one space, their subreddit is incredibly helpful, and I would say just got even more helpful. Here is one of the latest posts. The first time ever, get all widescreen and 60 FPS Dreamcast Flycast codes in one spot, even on Android. And they're calling this one the Dreamcast Widescreen and 60 FPS Database Project. They say here they are looking for help, and if you're curious about this one and wanted to learn more about it, again, like everything we talk about, link is in the description below at the bottom. I think this is a very interesting resource. And speaking about interesting, check out the title on this article over on Eurogamer. Palworld developer being sued by Nintendo says Switch 2 port is still possible if the new console is beefy enough. I recommend reading the article for more details, and well, here's the quote. If the specs are beefy enough, then it's 100% worth considering a Switch 2 release. I think that would be absolutely hilarious to have Palworld on the Switch 2 and Nintendo fighting Palworld at the exact same time. Let me know your thoughts about this one, but well, wouldn't that be something? And speaking about Nintendo and something, next up here we're talking about just a friendly heads up. This is just a rumor, and it may happen, it may not. But there's a rumor here that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this week. We'll have to wait and see on that one, and there's no point in dragging this segment out for like 10 minutes talking about it. We'll just wait and see it. It's going to be in a couple of days if it does happen. And speaking about friendly heads up, next up we're talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it's being reported that this game has 2 million players, and it was just released. They say here Assassin's Creed Shadows has now surpassed the launches of Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. That is very impressive. At the time of filming, Assassin's Creed Shadows has a very positive review score over on Steam. It's not the highest review score out there, but a lot of people have reviewed the game, and based on the player count here, I would say Ubisoft has a slam dunk on their hands. Next up here, we're talking about games that weren't, and a 33-year lost Nintendo Entertainment System conversion that has been recovered. The game is called Populous, and Games That Weren't have a brand new YouTube video that I do recommend checking out. They showcase this game in action, and if you check out the description of that video, there are some helpful links. Populous is a sim type of game, and I would say this is a big win for game preservation overall. And speaking about game preservation, next up we're talking about the exact opposite of it, a game that is no longer in development. It was reported that this game was in development during the pandemic and then, I guess, just stopped. If you're a fan of Mario Kart games and wanted more games like Mario Kart, or if you're not a fan of Mario Kart because you don't like the characters but would prefer a game with different characters, well, this news might upset you. It's being reported that Warner Brothers was working on a Mario Kart-like crossover game. They're saying here 100 people were working on this game. It was codenamed Moonlight, and it was going to be called WB Racers XDR, or Cross Drift Racers. And it also seems that Multiverses got the green light over this one, which might have been a mistake. I've got no idea if the kart racing game is going to be worked on in the future or if the project is just dead forever. Multiverses, released back in 2022, has a mostly positive overall review score and is dead after Season 5. It's ending support. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Would you have rather have seen the kart racer over Multiverses? Or do you think WB made the right choice in releasing Multiverses instead? And last up here, we're talking about Linux. And if you're on Linux and you like the arguably latest and greatest thing, Linux Kernel 6.14 Stable has just released. So with pretty much any new Linux kernel release, there's better support for newer hardware. There's more hardware support in general. And I'm hoping here that there's going to be better gaming support. Not to say Linux gaming is bad by any stretch of the imagination, but every single new Linux kernel that comes out just seems to upgrade the gaming performance overall. We'll have to wait and see in real-world testing, but this looks promising. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state, and I'll see you tomorrow.